feel like ESPN is kind of in that middle part of how they've been this offseason. And listen, I said it before, I'm keeping receipts, okay? We're keeping receipts going into this season. For all those, news publications and all those reporters and, people talking trash about us, when we go win the Super Bowl, I'm just creating receipts with some of these videos. So if you're like, wait, why are you making a video about a team or, a reporter trashing us? Or that's the third. And the reason why is because I'm just keeping the receipts ready to go for when the season ends and we win the Super Bowl. We're bringing up all these receipts. I'm making a video about all of these receipts. Adam Rank saying we're going to go 9-8, the worst team in the AFC North. All of these. We're talking about it. So, this is just all receipts. But, this is actually somewhat of a positive thing for the ESPNs here. So, ESPN Seth Wildler unveiled his offseason grade to all 32 teams this week, and he gave the Bengals a B for their work over the last few months. I don't see how we don't get an A. And that's not even me being biased. If I was biased, I'd say A++. But I don't see how we don't even get an A. Because, let's think about it this way, right? We lost Tyler Boyd. Okay, that sucked. We replaced him with Jermaine Burton, Tanner McLaughlin, Mike Gesicki. And I know Mike Gesicki is a tight end, but he lined up 90% last year in the slot, and he was a slot receiver pretty much for Miami for the longest time. We also got Jermaine Burton. We have Yoshi in another year. I know he's an outside receiver, but you can kind of use him anywhere you want in a way. Chuck Sizzle as well. We have him. We have Trenton Irwin. We lost Tyler Boyd, but we also gained a lot of assets that fixes the player Tyler Boyd that we lost, right? So, okay, I think that's fine. I don't think there's really, in all honesty, I think it's an A. We lost Tyler Boyd, replaced him with someone who's even better. Well, I guess I don't want to say better because, Tyler Boyd's older, okay? I think what we replace him with is a new system, okay? I don't want to disrespect Tyler Boyd like that. Now, I will disrespect the second one because the garbage can named Irv Smith, who's now in the Queef town of Kansas City, we lost him. Beautiful loss. Gorgeous loss. It's a loss you sit there and you just smile. Anyway, we lost him and replaced him with Mike Gesicki, which, that's an A++. That's not even being biased. That's not biasy at all. That's an A++. You go from Irv Smith to Mike Gesicki. That's absolutely an A++. We go from Jonah Williams to Trent Brown / Amarius Mims. A++. Not even biasy there. That's an A++. We lose Joe Mixon and we go to Zach Moss. That's our biggest loss on offense. I think that's our biggest loss on offense, and I have a lot of confidence in Zach Moss. I just love Joe Mixon, and I've always loved Joe Mixon. I've always been a very big fan of him. He's one of my favorite Bengals, so there's going to be some animosity inside of me when it comes to that, but I still have a lot of faith in Zach Moss. I think he can still be a really great player for us. So I think that's kind of that's our first kind of B. I call that a B. Because, well, yes, we're moving the offense in a different direction. Zach Moss is a really good blocker. He also can run the football. Joe Mixon's Joe Mixon, man. And I'm going to miss him. I'm really going to miss him a lot. So, yeah, that's the offense. And if you count all those grades up together and you kind of even it out, it's an A. That's an A. Then you got defense, okay? Obviously, we bring back, defensively, the biggest loss was DJ Reader. We really didn't lose anyone else that mattered. We did technically. We lost a linebacker or two. But realistically speaking, we lost DJ Reader, and that's the biggest loss this offseason. We replaced him with Sheldon Rankins. That's an A. Chris Jenkins. That's an A. We also brought in Geno Stone. That's an A as well. We put Dax Hill to the cornerback position. That's an A. We also brought in Von Bell. That's an A. everything on this offense, and I'm not trying to be biased and just sit here and tell you or everything on the team. I'm not trying to bias me. You know, obviously I'm a Bengals fan, okay? I'm going to give my Bengals the most credit they can get. But at the end of the day, I really think we deserve an A. I'm not saying an A++. Okay, I think losing Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd and DJ Reader, it's going to be huge losses in the end. But I think we did a really good, adequate, if not way better job of, you know, finding replacements. And I think the biggest thing here this offseason, right, is protecting Joe Burrow. That's the biggest factor going into the season. We drafted Matt Lee, who's a center who can also play guard. We got Amarius Mims, future right tackle franchise guy for this team. We also got Trent Brown. Your job is to protect Joe Burrow. You got a running back in Zach Moss, who's an amazing pass blocker. If you can do the exact thing I just said, you had an A+ offseason. Everything else works out, will find its way to work out as long as you protect number 9. So I think that's an A. I think that's an A+. I'm going to say an A, though, because I'm not trying to be biased here. I think we should deserve an A. A B, I'm not going to get too crazy about. The Bengals' biggest free agent acquisitions was Sheldon Rankins. I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. Trent Brown was our biggest signing this offseason. He was our biggest free agent signing. Trent Brown. I know you might say, well, what about Von Bell? Von Bell... Oh, that's a tough one, actually. Hold up. You're right. It's Von Bell 1A, 1B with Trent Brown. Von Bell, and I've said this many times, he gives us a level of communication for a young secondary that needs it, okay? We have a very young secondary. DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt. No, Cam Taylor-Britt is a little older, but he only joined the league in 2022. That's only 2 years now. DJ Turner, Josh Newton, Dax Hill, still young. You know, Mike Hilton, obviously a little older, but he gives a level of communication. Plus, you know, the old Super Bowl Bengals that we needed back on this team. So he gives us that. So that's really hard. But between him and Trent Brown gives us a protection for our quarterback, but he also gives us a really good level of training and development for Amarius Mims. Him and Orlando really helped develop Amarius Mims to a franchise guy. So, like, it's a 1A, 1B, man. It's really difficult. Sheldon Rankins isn't even on my top 5. I love Sheldon Rankins, and I'm not trying to make this video about me dissing Sheldon Rankins. I think he's great. But, no, he's not even top 5. I think number 1, 1A, 1B. Okay, he is top 5 because of the 1A, 1B. I think after the 1A, 1B, number 2, I would probably put Geno Stone. Geno Stone, free agent-wise, number 3 is Mike Gesicki. Number 4 is Zach Moss. Number 5 is Sheldon Rankins. That's probably where I put it. And that's not including draft picks, by the way. But I'd say he's number 5. I don't think he's the biggest. I don't think he's the best signing this offseason. I think he was a key one to kind of give us a more of a pass rusher inside, which is really good. But to shut down the run, that's where Chris Jenkins and BJ Hill are going to really have to step up. Anyway, though, I think he is very underrated, but I just think overall-wise, I wouldn't put him there. He helps offset the loss. No, he doesn't. He does not help offset the loss at all by DJ Reader. They're completely different defense tackles. You have a nose tackle in DJ Reader, and then you have a pass rusher, interior pass rusher in Sheldon Rankins. They're not the same at all. Chris Jenkins is more of a DJ Reader than Sheldon Rankins is, so that's completely incorrect. We also lost Cheeto. I forgot about Cheeto. See, the reason why I forget about Cheeto, by the way, is just because he was not the same since his back injury, his back surgery, and it's kind of like, in a way, I kind of feel like we lost him after that surgery. After that surgery, I feel like we lost who Cheeto was. And again, I hope he does well with Brian in Tennessee overall wise. But I think, you know, yeah. Anyway, though, losing Cheeto was definitely. It hurts. hurts the fact of who he is. It doesn't hurt the fact of the player as much. I feel like, again, just wasn't the same since back surgery. I think we did perfectly fine moving Dax Hill to that cornerback position, and I still think that's an A. On offense, Cincinnati signed Trent Brown in free agency and used his first-round pick on Marius Mims, investing in the tackle position opposite Orlando Brown. See, if you're going to add the draft picks in here, it's an A+. Like, I don't care, actually. It's an A+ if you're going to add draft picks in here. Like, I was just talking about free agents. If you add in draft picks, Eric All, Tanner McLaughlin, Jermaine Burton, Matt Lee, Chris Jenkins, Jackson, Josh Newton. Okay, I am not really going to go too crazy about the last two. The strong free safety dude, Anthony, and then Cedric. Cedric John, I don't think those guys are going to really make the roster. But the other guys, yes. So if you're going to talk about draft picks, it's an A+. Like, you're not getting it. If you're getting draft picks, A+. If you're going to leave out draft picks, I'll give you an A, and I'll give you closer to that B. What meaning, like, I give an A, but I'm not going to go crazy about the B. But if you're going to add in draft picks and give us a B, get the fluff out of here. Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna be them Bengals? Who they? Who they? Who they think gonna be them Bengals? Nobody! ESPN, you're added to the list.